Hi, this is Kaya Hunter, Money Coach. I help women create financial peace of mind. In today's live, I am talking about tax and tax refunds. And before you switch off, right there, I'm talking to those of you who have been lucky enough, I guess, to receive a tax refund. So if you are in that position and you're either expecting a nice juicy amount of money from the ATO, or perhaps you've got it already, which is potentially unlikely because that's super quick, but if you are expecting a tax refund, then I've got a few do's and a few don'ts in terms of what you should do with that refund. So the first thing is, if you are expecting a refund and you don't have an emergency fund, I highly suggest that you put that money towards your emergency fund. If not all of it, depending on how much you get back, then at least a portion of it. I would say, I always suggest you have a minimum of $1,000 in your emergency fund. So if you are getting $1,000 and you don't have an emergency fund, pop your tax return into your emergency fund. If you're getting more than $1,000, or you've already got an emergency fund, then you can do other things. But if you do get more than $1,000, you can start your emergency fund either with $1,000 or potentially you could, I suggest once you've got $1,000 in your emergency fund that you build that up to 3 months living expenses. So if you've got no bad debt and you get more than $1,000, you could put 3 months worth of living expenses into an emergency fund. So if you have bad debt, I would still suggest that you start your emergency fund. And the reason that I suggest that rather than chucking all your tax refund onto your bad debt is that by having that buffer there, having that emergency fund there, will alleviate or should alleviate the need for you to rely on credit should there be an emergency. So that's the reason that I suggest putting the money into your emergency fund before you pay off bad debt. So if you do have bad debt but you do have your emergency fund, then by all means you can use your tax refund to get rid of bad debt. I do suggest that you start with the smallest debt first, depending again on how much you get back on your tax refund. So start with the smallest debt first and get rid of that. Close your card if it's a card or loan, close it out and pay it off, and don't get another one. So there's some ideas. The other thing that you could do if you do get a tax refund is put it onto your offset account if you do have a home loan and your loan is variable. Once you've got an offset account and potentially gotten rid of some bad debt, then you can look at putting it towards the home loan by way of putting it in your offset account. You might be thinking, well, why don't I just put my money from my emergency fund into my offset account? You can if you want to. However, to avoid the temptation of dipping into that offset account, because usually that's an account that's that you have a transaction card and so forth for and pretty easy access, I do usually suggest that you put your emergency fund in a completely separate bank account that earns high interest and has no fees. So you can put it against your offset account if you're in that position. So let me go through the do's again if you're getting a tax refund. Number one, make sure you've got an emergency fund. Depending on the amount of tax refund you get, either just pop $1,000 into your emergency fund, or if you can, 3 months worth of living expenses. That'd be a nice tax return, wouldn't it? The second one is get rid of bad debt. So if you've got an emergency fund already, then you can focus on paying off your bad debt with your tax refund. If you have an emergency fund and you don't have any bad debt, first of all, congratulations, that's awesome. If you have an emergency fund and you don't have any bad debt, then you would look at putting that towards your home loan. So that's the 3 things that you can do with your tax refund, or I suggest that you do with your tax refund. What you shouldn't do is spend it on crap. Spend it on things that you don't need, that at the end of the day don't bring any value or anything like that to your life by any means. So don't spend your tax refund on rubbish that in 6 months' time you'll look back and think, where did I spend that money, or what did I use that tax refund for? So don't buy it on crap don't spend it rather on crap that you don't need. So there you go. That is my tips if you are getting a tax refund this financial year. And also just quickly before I hop off, wanted to let you know that if you do want to get some awesome savings ideas, that I do have a freebie. It's a 5-part online video series training, so super duper easy. The videos are nice and short and sharp, so easy to absorb and implement. But it's a 5-part series on saving money called 5 Steps to Saving Money Like a Pro. I will pop a link in the comments below once this video has all uploaded and so forth. So come back and have a look. But that's my 5 steps to saving money like a pro freebie if you are keen to get saving money today. So have a great day. I hope this video has helped. If it has, please feel free to share it. I would love that. This is Kaya Hunter, Money Coach. Thanks so much.